What's up, Notre Dame fans? Mike Singer from blueandgold.com talking about a new commitment for the Fighting Irish, a versatile and talented defensive back in the 2022 class. If you like what you see in this video, please hit the thumbs up to help support what we're doing here at blueandgold.com. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, please consider doing so to get more Notre Dame football content. So the commitment today is Jayden Bellamy. Again, a very versatile defensive back, 5'11", 175 pounds, can play really anywhere in the secondary, and we'll dive into that. He's from Oradell, New Jersey, Bergen Catholic High School, and he's a 3-star player, a high 3-star on that 5.7 recruit ranking. And I've heard some rumblings that he's got a really good chance for 4-star status. We'll just have to see his early senior season tape. It certainly would not surprise me at all if Bellamy ends up a 4-star player. Let's talk about how this recruitment came together for Notre Dame. The Fighting Irish offered Bellamy back on February 10th. I believe he was actually one of Chris O'Leary's very first, if not first, then he was probably second offer in the 2022 class after O'Leary became the safeties coach for Notre Dame. Staff recruited him pretty hard, and we'll get to a quote where Bellamy mentions that as a key factor. Chris O'Leary, Mike Mickens, Marcus Freeman, entire Notre Dame staff did a really good job making Bellamy feel valued. Really came down to Notre Dame and Penn State, took official visits to both schools. Rutgers was a school he liked. His father played there. It's an in-state program, but again, came really down to the Nittany Lions and Fighting Irish after his Penn State visit, which went really well. There were some rumblings out there that Bellamy might end up a Nittany Lion, but then Bellamy took an official visit to Notre Dame the weekend of June 18th. That visit also went really well, and it was kind of a toss-up. You know, some sources weren't sure where Bellamy was going to end up choosing. He made the call to Notre Dame late June and then announced it here on July 2nd. Bellamy caught 8 passes for 194 yards and 3 touchdowns on offense during his junior season at Bergen Catholic. Didn't play much on offense. He was mainly a defensive guy, and that was just a 6-game season last year. On the defensive side of the ball, 14 tackles, 1 interception returned for 30 yards and a touchdown, and broke up a pair of passes. These stats per Max Preps. His father, Jay Bellamy, played in the NFL. He was a safety for the Seattle Seahawks from 94 to 2000 and the New Orleans Saints from 2001 to 2007. Spoke to Bellamy about his Notre Dame commitment, and here is what he had to say. Academics played a big part, and I bonded the best with Coach Mike Mickens, Coach Marcus Freeman, and the whole staff. When I was with them during the visit, we were making a lot of jokes, and ever since they offered me, they went after me hard, and that played a part too. Got to give a ton of credit to this Notre Dame coaching staff, the academics. It's just a strong fit from Bergen Catholic to Notre Dame. And speaking of that Bergen Catholic connection, this is a picture I took back in May. That's Bellamy on the left side of your screen with Steve Angeli on the right side. Angeli, of course, is Notre Dame's quarterback commit in the 2022 class. He picked the Fighting Irish back in March, and at the second he committed to Notre Dame, started recruiting Bellamy really hard. So bringing up Angeli is a perfect segue to the next part of this video. As I was thinking about who we could bring on as a guest to talk about Jayden Bellamy, I figured let's bring on Steve Angeli, Notre Dame's quarterback commitment in the 2022 class. And he is, of course, his Jaden's teammate at Bergen Catholic in New Jersey. So a few things for you, Steve. First, how excited were you when Mr. Bellamy told you that he was committed to Notre Dame?
Yeah, I was super excited. I mean, I thought the official visit, went well. He was there the same time I was. I mean, our families connected really well, obviously, and spending more time together on campus. And obviously, one of my good friends, Jaden, being able to spend more time with him on our future campus now and our future home. So when he told me, when he got back a couple of days later that he was going to make the decision, I was super excited, obviously to bring another Jersey guy to South Bend, and obviously one of my teammates, one of my friends. It's going to be a great time being able to play with him, and obviously play against him or with him. Who knows which side of the ball he's going to be on, but he's an awesome player and one of my good friends, and I was ecstatic when he told me.
Yeah, so let's break down him as a player. We'll pop on his junior tape. Now, this first play was interesting. So this is not him carrying the ball. There's the spotlight on him. This first play was just to show off Jayden Bellamy's speed. So you got to throw to him not only in practice but in games. He played a little bit of receiver. You threw a few touchdown passes to him, but then mainly you were throwing passes against him. With him in coverage. So just break down him as a football player.
I mean, he's just an athlete overall. I mean, playing against him, I mean, he's made me so much better. In practice, going against his athleticism, his speed, his hands, his vision, just also his senses and his feel for the position. I mean, the plays that he's made, his closing speed and his tackling is really unbelievable. But then when he's with me on my side of the ball, obviously we make plays happen and we create special things. So when he's playing with me and I'm able to get him the ball and distribute and facilitate to him, I mean he does his thing, and it's my job to get the ball in the player's hands. And when you have a player like Jayden Bellamy on your team, I mean it makes my job a lot easier getting him the ball and just letting him do the work and seeing him make something special.
So he played safety a lot last season, of course, receiver with you. No, he's hoping to play cornerback at Notre Dame. So we're not 100% sure what his position will be. If I asked you what position you'd want Jaden to play, it'd probably be receiver, right? I mean, just kind of break down his different positions and speak a little bit more on that versatility that he has.
Yeah, I mean, when he's on defense, obviously he can play all the positions in the secondary, corner, DB. Sometimes he was rolled down even and played down. So I mean, he's just so versatile when it comes to what he can do. I mean, he has great hands, and obviously his ball skills on the defensive side translate
Oh, here's you.
tremendously. Yeah, there's me. Yeah, that one he made my life easier there and did the work. But I mean, he like you said, you see the speed he has and the quickness, and I mean he's guys have that term where it's like that breakout player or that that one play touchdown factor. I mean, he has that even on both sides of the ball. If he catches a pick, it might go back for 6. And just like we just saw, if he catches a little tunnel screen, he could take that 80 yards and make a score. So he's really just an athlete, and everything he does is just super, super special and just it's super well rounded.
And here's a passing touchdown again from Angeli to Bellamy. Man, yeah, he probably made your passing stats look pretty good after that that screen. And here's another connection. I believe this was the first play of your highlight tape, that touchdown
Yeah,
pass, if I'm not mistaken. So tell me about him as a young man. What kind of kid is he to hang out with? Like what kind of person? Because
Mhm.
as you know, with Notre Dame, it's much more than just the football side. You have to click
Yeah.
with Notre Dame and be a good fit in the community and classroom.
Yeah, I mean, just playing with him. Obviously, we met in high school, and everybody kind of travels around New Jersey to come play at Bergen Catholic. So when we first met, obviously, he's more of a reserved, humble, down to earth kid. But as we became closer, opened up. He's a funny guy, always cracking jokes and stuff. And overall, he's a great guy to be around and an extremely hard worker. He's exactly what I think resembles Notre Dame football players and Notre Dame people. And I mean, he's a great addition to the Notre Dame family. And obviously, like you said, you wouldn't be able to, come to this university if you don't check all the boxes outside of football. So, also, obviously, he's great in the classroom and just overall, just a great guy to have on the team and an awesome locker room guy.
All right, that's Steve Angeli talking about new Notre Dame commit Jayden Bellamy. Great stuff there from Angeli. Bellamy is Notre Dame's 17th commitment in this 2022 class, and the second defensive back, joining Jaden Mickey, a 4-star cornerback from California. Notre Dame certainly not done in the secondary. Jake Pope, Xavier Nwankpa, a couple safety players to keep an eye on at the cornerback position. 4 stars, Benjamin Morrison and Devin Moore. I think Notre Dame's going to take 4 to 5 defensive backs, and those are the top names to know at this point in time. That's it for this video. Make sure you let us know in the comments what you think about this get for Notre Dame. Plenty of excitement when it comes to the Fighting Irish's 2022 class, especially with what Marcus Freeman and that defensive staff is doing. Hit the thumbs up if you liked what you saw in this video, and again, subscribe to our channel for more content.